Jock Young's concept of moral panic. Jock Young was a British sociologist who played a big role in helping people understand how society reacts to things it fears. One of his most important ideas was about something called moral panic. This is when people or the media make a situation seem much worse than it really is, usually because they are afraid that certain behaviors, groups, or changes in society might damage traditional values or the way people are used to living. It is like when someone sees smoke and yells "fire," even though it is just someone blowing out birthday candles. The reaction is much bigger than the actual threat. The concept of moral panic helps us understand how fear and emotions can shape what we believe is right or wrong. Jock Young built this idea through his research in the 1970s when he studied how drug users, especially marijuana users, were treated by society and the media in London. He noticed that people who used these drugs were being portrayed as dangerous and as a threat to society, even when there was not much evidence to support that. This led to stronger police action, harsher laws, and more public fear. In truth, many of these people were just regular young people experimenting with something new, but society's response made them out to be much worse. A moral panic usually starts with a group or behavior being seen as different or strange. The media picks up on it and starts reporting it in a way that causes fear. Journalists may use dramatic headlines or focus on the worst examples, making the issue feel like a national crisis. Even if only a few people are involved, the media makes it sound like it is happening everywhere. Once people see or hear these stories again and again, they start to believe there really is a problem and demand that something be done. This can lead to new laws, strict punishments, or even discrimination against certain groups. Jock Young pointed out that these panics are not based on facts, but on feelings. The people who are seen as the cause of the panic are often labeled as folk devils. This means society views them as evil or harmful, even if they have not done anything wrong. It could be young people, immigrants, drug users, or even people with different lifestyles. Once they are labeled, it becomes easier for the rest of society to blame them for larger problems. During a moral panic, the blame shifts from understanding the real issue to attacking the people who are seen as different. One of the reasons why moral panics spread so quickly is because people want to feel safe and in control. When something new or unfamiliar happens, it can make people nervous. The media plays a big role here because it helps shape how people see the world. If every news report says that crime is increasing, even when it is not, people will believe it and act as if it is true. Jock Young explained that this constant stream of fear can make society less tolerant and more ready to punish than to understand. Another important point in Jock Young's idea is how moral panics can cause the exact problem they are trying to stop. For example, if society treats young people who dress or behave differently as criminals, even when they have not done anything wrong, those young people may feel rejected and angry. Over time, they might actually turn to crime because they feel like they have no other choice. In this way, moral panic creates a cycle where society pushes people into the roles it fears, and then uses that as proof that the fear was real all along. Jock Young's concept helps us question how we react to news stories or public debates. If we hear that a certain group of people is dangerous or that a new trend is destroying society, we need to ask whether there is real evidence or just fear. Are the people being talked about actually doing harm, or are they just being misunderstood? Are the reactions fair, or are they extreme and based on emotions rather than facts? Moral panics have happened many times in history. For example, there have been moral panics about video games where people believed they were causing violence in young people, even when research showed little or no link. There have also been moral panics about different styles of music, clothing, or technology. In each case, something new was blamed for bigger problems, and people who liked or used those things were seen as bad or dangerous. This shows how easy it is for society to jump to conclusions without taking the time to understand. Jock Young wanted people to look deeper. He wanted society to be more thoughtful and less quick to judge. Instead of creating panic, he encouraged understanding and looking at the bigger picture. What are the real reasons behind changes in society? Are the fears we feel based on facts, or are they the result of media stories and political messages? He also reminded us that moral panics are not always about the truth. They are about control. Those in power, such as politicians or media owners, can use fear to gain support or distract from other problems. For example, if there is a bad economy, it might be easier to blame a certain group of people rather than fix the real issue. This is why moral panic is so dangerous. It does not solve problems, it hides them and often makes them worse. In today's world, Jock Young's idea is more important than ever. With social media, news spreads faster than ever before. A single video, tweet, or story can create a panic within minutes. People can be judged, blamed, and punished without anyone checking the facts. That is why we need to be careful about what we believe and how we react. We need to think critically and ask questions before joining the panic. In summary, Jock Young's concept of moral panic teaches us that fear can make people overreact, especially when the media and public opinion are involved. These overreactions can lead to unfair treatment, stricter laws, and deeper problems. Moral panic is not just about what people do, but about how society sees and responds to it. Young believed that instead of creating fear, we should try to understand. We should look beyond the headlines and think about what is really going on. If you found this video helpful and you learned something new about Jock Young's concept of moral panic and how it affects the way we see the world, please give this video a like. And if you enjoy clear and simple explanations of big ideas in sociology, psychology, and philosophy, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more thoughtful content every week. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.